has there ever been like a call that you got or seen like a name or number come up on your phone where you actually did fan out? But you didn't show it, but you were like, I can't believe this person is about to hire me. Like, it's too late.
Okay.
Tell me a story.
So I did fan out one time when I had Kim K. Yeah, I was fanning out.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's give us the scoop. Give us the scoop.
Funny story. So.
Everybody, it's your girl Neish, and we are back for another dope episode of Finding Your Niche with Neish. I have to tell you guys, I am like inspired. That's the word I'm going to use today. I am inspired by the person sitting across from me today. Y'all, this person, you know, I interview a lot of people, right? And I hear a lot of stories, but I'm very fascinated by this specific story of this specific guest that's on the show today. Morris Parker of True Concierge is here to talk about the luxury transportation business. I'm so excited to have you on today. So thank you so much for joining me.
My pleasure.
Okay, so first things first, I am like I said at the top of the intro, like your story has been very, very fascinating to kind of understand and kind of watch it unravel. But I want to fast forward to today. Because I don't know, y'all. Am I sitting next to like, are you famous because you just went viral?
You know,
Let me know.
I'm kind of a big deal.
Okay.
You know, I'm kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I want to talk about that because that's so cool. I've been trying to go viral. So is there a science to it, or was this just an organic situation? Like, how did you go viral? What has it meant to you? And what have you seen as a result of going viral as far as like change in your specific brand and business?
Well, so, you know, it wasn't like I was trying to go viral.
Okay.
You know, I was talking to one of my students that recently took my course, and he was very passionate. And when I saw his passion, you know, I was able to resonate with that passion. Like, you know, that's what I do it for, is the people who really, you know, passionate, who won't change and really want to, you know, transition from their current stage to a whole new stage. And so I was just really just pouring into him. And I was telling, you know, this guy, you know, my experience of, you know, one, just being appreciative of opportunity when it's coming. You know, you ain't got time to be tired. Keep that same energy that you had when, you know, we was running the streets and partying all night, and you know you was the party animal. Yeah. Right. Well, be the party animal when it's time to take care of your business. And so it went viral.
I know. Okay, so wait, it's a whole 30 seconds, y'all. I'm actually about to play it because there's actually one line in it that I really like. And I'm like, oh, I love how he said it. I'm a poet, so I'm an international spoken word artist. Okay. But actually, kind of some of the literally, like, the things that you're saying are quite poetic. Even though it may not seem that way at face value, but like you say a line in there, it was like, man, I peel off my socks. And I'm like, why did you just say I take my socks off or I take my shoes off? But anyways, I'm about to let the people hear it because it's something that went viral. And I think I kind of want to break it down a little bit.
Let's break it down.
To some of the wording. Okay, so y'all listen to this. Let me find the video. Okay, you tell me which one it is.
All right, so here we go. We right here.
Okay.
The streets.
Yeah. Okay, let me start it over.
Right now for your business. Your life on the line for the streets. Yeah. Do the same thing right now for your business. Stay out there all night. Come back home with $1,000 in your pocket. Right? 3:30. Look, get back up at 7. Take a shower, get back out here. Yeah. You understand? It's a whole nother, like, man, listen, the harder I work, the more money come in, the more I want to go. Yes. I peel my socks off at 4 a.m. I'm back up at 7:30, and I'm smiling. I've been there with a cup of coffee. Yeah.
Okay. When I say viral, y'all, I'm not saying like, okay, a couple hundred views, a couple thousand views, a couple hundred thousands of views. I'm talking about what, 2.6, 2.3 million?
3 millions of views.
Millions of views, y'all, just from that. Like, that might have even been like 30 seconds. That probably was like 20 seconds.
Right.
So let's break that down. Can you talk about what you're talking about in that and how people can be inspired by it and why people have been inspired by that?
So, really and this is a true story, this, not make believe. I literally do this now. I still do it, but when you work hard to transition from having a job or coming out the streets or whatever it is you're doing, and you envision trying to do better, be better. That's one thing. When you get there, okay, there's a maintaining that, right? And there's an attitude that you need to have of gratitude. So, really what's behind it is saying, like, for one, you keep the same energy, one, for your business or for the good opportunity. Keep that same energy when you was out there doing, reckless or foolish stuff. Keep that same energy, right? When you was willing to put your life on the line for something stupid.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking from experience. When I didn't have the right direction or didn't have a blueprint, I was willing to put my life on the line for, some bad decisions or some bad situations. So put that same energy into a positive opportunity.
Yeah.
And on top of that, be thankful and appreciative, because look, you don't have to be here to even to have a 7 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Right.
So, man, listen, I'm thankful to be here. And if you had that attitude, you look at it different, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, man, I get to be here to come in at 4 a.m. and to wake up at 7 and some more opportunity waiting on me? No, man, come on, let's go. Let's go. I ain't tired.
Yeah.
I ain't complaining. I ain't moping because I got to be up at 7 a.m. and I just came in at 4. That means there's opportunity waiting on me tomorrow.
Right.
And tomorrow. And I want to keep it coming. This ain't no lick. This is a lifestyle.
Ooh, that's a bar. This ain't a lick. This is a lifestyle. Y'all better write that one down. Okay, so I'm excited about this because I really want to use this reel as the cornerstone, because I've looked at a lot of your content and the message has a lot of, there's a common thread, kind of like what you just said about hustle, about drive, about ambition, about changing the narrative of maybe what you used to be into becoming somebody who you want to be. So I'm curious to know, like, after you've seen that, you went viral, what was the common denominator with the people who really resonated with that video? What was it that they said that stuck out to them?
The support that came behind the video was, it was really heartfelt for me, because I saw that people grabbed that, and I was getting messages, people saying, like, man, that woke me up, like, that just, as adults, like, we really need sometimes, just like, we really big kids inside our body. We the same person, we just in an adult body, adult lifestyle. So the same kid inside you that needed that encouragement, as an adult, sometimes you need that encouragement too, right? It don't hurt to get some encouragement, nothing, because we become adults, that doesn't mean that encouragement went away.
Right.
Or wanting encouragement or the effects of some good encouragement. So when I just saw the results of, like, people, man, listen, bro, that, bro, you talking to me, it just made me feel and understand that, like, this is real. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people who get up every day, they work hard and don't get no pat on the back. They committed to, a lot of us committed to doing what we got to do, right? And so to me, it just seemed like people were able to, it was like a sigh of relief for some people, like, okay, man, this, somebody else is going through the same thing. Like, I had a guy just recently text and said, man, his wife sent it to him and thanked him for working hard and taking care of their family, because that's what he do. He work all day. He come in at 4 in the morning, peel his socks off, get back up. He go get back out there, and he get to it, and he don't do it. He don't complain about it. He get to it. So that's really what it is. It gave me some encouragement to also continue to just push and. As like men and women, we don't have room to complain. You just got to get to it and, make things work. So it was just really strong.
Why are you saying that? Why do you think we don't have room to complain? What do you mean?
I mean, life be lifing. You know, life is real, and so if you want to accomplish and make change, you can't make excuses about, you know, what it requires. You know, you just got to get out here. You got to find a blueprint that, make plans. Build, make goals, and then figure out the steps to, attain those goals. And don't make excuses. You know, triple check, double check. I train my assistant. I need you to double, triple check. Right? If I give you a task, don't rush through it and leave details out. Take your time and then go back, double check, triple check. Make sure that you ain't had no human error. You know, we don't have room for error, in life no more. So it's important that you just, that focus factor, is what has gotten me where I'm at now, and that's what's going to change the situation for anybody if you just put that focus in.
I love that. So I love that because that's actually something new that I'm learning when you speak to the aspect of a focus factor. And I think that is actually kind of the catalyst when you're able to focus in a way that is high level focus. We'll call it that.
Yeah.
When you're able to kind of experience high level focus, it can serve as the catalyst to bringing you to the next level of your success. And so I want to ask you about that, actually, for your own experience and seeing your own success. What did it take for you to actually be able to have high-level focus, and what has it been to you, and how has it benefited you with your career?
I think the struggles, you'll hear me say, your greatness comes from your ability to learn, right? It ain't the, accomplishments that. It's the, your greatness, because we get older, we could have done some great stuff at one point, right? But you only as good as the last person you beat, or, the last champion that you beat, right? So, it's the, man, I lost my train of thought.
No, your ability to focus, high level focus.
So the challenges is what has taught me, right? And so what I was getting at is that the smart people who actually learn from the challenge instead of complain about the challenge is who bridge the gap faster. In our culture, we spend like 80% of our time talking about the problem. Less than the other 20%, we won't even put that whole 20% in the problem. Solving it. So you gotta really understand what your problems are, analyze that, and start fixing it fast. Learn from. So if something ain't going right, figure out why it's not going right. Right? Put some time into analyzing, why is this not working? Right? Let me figure that out. Let me put some real focus into why is this not. It ain't just life. It's you're not beating the mission.
Yeah.
Right? It's like the video game. You could play Call of Duty. It's fun because you can play the game until you figure out where the man is that's killing you every time. And in life, it's the same way. You got to focus on what keeps tripping you up and fix that, solve that.
Yeah.
Then you can advance.
Yeah.
And you just keep doing that.
I love that.
And before you know, you get into a succession of good decisions. It becomes a habit, a lifestyle now, making good decisions, mitigating your risk. And so then you start seeing growth.
Yeah. I'm curious to know, when we're not thinking about the game of life, when we're thinking of the actual life of life, for you, what was maybe that isolated moment, because you've had a series of not so wise decisions.
Correct.
That have put you in certain predicaments that okay, maybe this is not the best version of myself.
Correct.
Is there something that you can think of that was the pivotal moment, or maybe just an isolated moment where it was wow, I need to change my life, and it starts today?
I don't know if it was one moment.
It's a multitude.
Look, I don't live a perfect life now. I'm still working on me every day. I'm still trying to be the best version of Morris that I can be. And, but I can tell you that, when I lost my job at Kellogg's, I worked at Kellogg's for 8 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
7 days a week, that's a moment that I can say when I lost that job. Before I started this business, I took like 2 or 3 months of just soul searching, midlife crisis type deal. I sat at the bar at Roof Chris for like 3 months.
Wow.
And trying to figure out where I was going to go with my life at this point. And so I finally just decided to go this route. But I mean, you get tired of like spinning your wheels and going through the same thing. And
a rat race.
Yeah, you lose a job and now your whole life
shifts.
You losing house, car, girlfriend walking out. You get tired of just every 3-4 years, you go through the same thing. And so I just was kind of at a point where like, man, this, I literally, that's why I named the company True. Like, I'm gonna just be true to myself, and I'm gonna just go at this, win, lose, or draw, and just get this my all. And
wow, so you bet it on yourself.
Yeah, that was a pivotal moment where I was just like, yo, man, I don't care what nobody think or how they feel. I'm gonna stay true, and that's why the name of the company is True Concierge.
Wow. Were you at Roof Chris Bar when you had this moment?
No, at this moment, I was in the garage. My stomach was touching my back.
What does that mean?
I was hungry. I was, at that moment, I was,
hungry figuratively or like literally?
No, literally. I was just I was going through that. At that stage, it was this was after, the 3 months at Roof Chris. This was, when I started the penny pinch, and now I had to, that pressure was coming where, okay, I got to make stuff work. And so, I just, again, the pressure is so important.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm telling you, like, it's so important to go through challenges because, when they say the strong survive, like, that's real because, again, if you smart, and we live in the information age now.
Yep.
Right? So if you use your brain and pay attention to what's going on, it's gonna show you, like, pressure sometimes is important. It's a part of the process, right? And so, a lot of folks now, they can't handle the pressure.
Yeah.
But, man, it's a part of it. It teaches you. It show you how to make lemonade with lemons and water and sugar.
Facts, yep.
Right now, I do that in my business. I learned how to, I'm not the guru just because I took the elevator. I took the steps. And with no shortcuts.
Yeah.
I had to take the steps all the way up. And so I know how to work and maneuver, and I know how to make things work. I have earned my spot and my position because, I put in the work.
I love that. And I kind of want to unpack that a little bit because I think there's a lot of power in what you just said, the fact of being hungry. I want to kind of talk about that, being hungry versus like hunger to succeed and how there's some parallels within that. I think that's brilliant. And I think that's an amazing kind of like spark. Like when you have lack, when you're at the moment of realization of lack, right? That's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling. So how do you mentally and I guess physically, so to speak, how do you make the shift from lack to prosperity? How do people do that mentally? How do you see it before you see it?
I think you got to block out the noise. You got to take some time and block out the noise, right? You got to get to yourself. And, you got to, identify what's what, who's who. And then, you gotta stand for something, right? So one of the things I teach in my course is that, you gotta respect what you do before anybody else will. And so that's like the basis of it. Like, so if you come up with an idea, a concept, you gotta own it. You gotta not be embarrassed to be, if you're a painter, you can't be embarrassed to go out here and paint in front of people. You gotta, you gotta make people respect what you do, and you gotta believe in it to where it shows.
Do you believe in the idea of fake it till you make it?
What are you faking?
You're faking the confidence because you might not have the confidence. Listen, you might not have the confidence to back what you're doing, but you might have the audacity to do it. So it's kind of like you don't fully, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't fully have the confidence, but you have enough audaciousness to even pursue pursue it?
So there's that's a great question, because you got some people who really are faking it, but then you got some people who have courage. Mm-hmm. So I definitely think you got to have courage to fight through the unknown, or like Martin Luther King said, faith is taking a step without seeing the rest of the staircase. Mm-hmm. You got to have courage, and I mean, I hate the word fake.
Okay.
Right. But I mean, you do definitely need to be able to, like, be crazy. Be crazy.
That's what I'm saying. You have to be audacious enough to kind of pursue the thing, even though you don't have the full
understanding, knowledge. But you gotta, you just gotta push. What I guess in my words, I would say is that even when you don't know, just lean forward. Just lean forward. Don't lean back. Just lean forward, and man, the universe gonna open up for you when you apply pressure. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta go forward and like, press through the crowd, even when you don't know. The only way you're going to get to know is to move forward.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? That's the only way you're going to get to the answer. It's not going to just come to you all the time. You got to push forward, and, I would even say, ask questions. Like, it's nothing wrong with saying, look, I don't know where I'm going. Can can you tell me which way is, and that's how, along my way in my business, I started to look at people. So I would look at companies that I want. I still do it now. I'll look at a company that I want to be like. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go over there and ask them some questions.
Yep.
Go knock on their door. Hey, how you doing? I see that you guys are doing this or whatever.
Yeah.
And, I'm new in the business, and so you make friends, and it's something that people support the underdog.
Yeah, they do.
People they'll ride with the underdog.
Yeah. I'm curious, because you just actually made me think of something when you said that about asking questions. What for you is a big life question, or a big question in life for you that remains unanswered?
That remains unanswered. Big life question. That's a good question. No one has ever asked me that before.
Well, you're on Finding Your Niche with Neish. So there's that.
Oh man, leave it up to Baby Oprah to ask me a question. I don't know. Man, that's a deep question. I would have to ponder on that.
Okay, well, if you figure out the answer, let me know.
I wouldn't say like, what is my purpose, but in a way I would say, what is my purpose, because I'm so multi-talented, but I think I'm getting closer to it, because my passion to like help people has been in me my whole life. Mm-hmm. And so, this is a new chapter, in the, teaching, small business and promoting that. So
yeah, and that's actually something I kind of wanted to unpack a little bit, which I found interesting, because your specific industry is kind of a very niche industry. When you think about luxury transportation, and you're very forthcoming with like the information, even though it's, I guess, quote unquote, a competitive market, because you're having to deal with like Uber, like and Lyft and stuff like that. But I commend you for willing to like be able to be very forthcoming with how you've been able to accumulate your success, and like giving other people game with the academy and passing that down with your course. Like, here's what I did, this and this and this, and just like, dang, like he want to let other people know the sauce. Like, I'm kind of surprised about that, but at the same time, I also commend you for being able to be that person, especially in our community, be like, here, let me reach down and pull you guys up with me. So where did that come from?
So, I had a client that, saw my lifestyle, and I was just doing me, and they, mentioned it like, man, look, you got all the sauce. You should be, telling or teaching people.
Yeah.
So I thought about it, and, like, again, it's a passion in me to, man, I used to think like, okay, if you go to a restaurant with your family and everybody in the community is struggling. Right? You can't even enjoy going out to eat no more. So, like, for me, the passion of trying to help and see other people, like, you know, people ask the question all the time, why are you teaching other people to do what you do? Because I want to share opportunity to people who, like me, who used to be me. Like, there's a young man that's, 25 years old that I remember when I was that young man that was looking up to guys and just, was looking for a way. I ain't trying to rob, steal, or kill, or beat nobody. I just want to know a way to make it.
Yeah.
So, for me, now at my stage, I'm I just turned 45, right? And I want to be able to be the right big homie,
right?
The right OG to, men and women, whoever that, it's like if you looking at me and you like, okay, I like what he doing. Well, I just want to give you the right thing. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to, like, okay, look, man, this is a blueprint. You don't even have to follow my blueprint, but just find you a blueprint and get busy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's going to change your life, and it could change yours faster than it changed mine. And that's going to change our community.
Yeah, I love that. There's a lot of, like, little nuances in what you just said that I kind of want to explore, because you talked about, quote unquote, passing the baton, so to speak, or, helping the next generation, and even looking back to where you've come from and the people that kind of like helped to implement who you are today. So I do want to ask you, your father, he passed.
Yes.
Can you talk about that? Because when you think about your lineage, and you think about the legion of people who are around you to kind of help you get to where you are, can you talk about the impact that he had on you and how that resonates with how you kind of translate that into the people you interact with today?
Wow. So how much time we got today? Like, wow. I mean, that's an excellent question. Man, I get all of my gifts from the man above and, my upbringing. Again, the struggles, like, so I had a tough upbringing with my dad. But, now looking back, he only had 19 years to put in work on me. And so it was almost like growing up in the military. My dad was a very tough, he said openly that he treated a man different than he treated a woman. And, he raised me as though he knew, you would think if it was a movie, it was like he knew that he was going to leave me and that he had to drill me while he had a chance. You would have thought that was like the movie. Because, man, all the gifts that he gave me, but I thought it was the worst thing in the world when I was going through it.
Yeah.
And, that's why I like my mindset. I teach mindset all the time, but my mindset is different because when I look back, first of all, I'm fortunate to even be able to look back on things in my life and grab things from it.
Yeah.
So when I look back at my childhood, there's so many things that I grab and I look at, like, he taught me to work hard. He taught me not to make excuses. Okay? That came from my dad teaching me, like, he don't, stop making excuses, right? One of the biggest lessons he taught me was that, what I was just telling you about the 80-20 is that the more you look at the situation as being hard, the harder it gets. So if you gotta pass this test, the more you sit there and talk about, oh man, I gotta pass this test, or the more you focus on the problem, the harder the problem becomes. And so I got this, even my lovely, fiance, she we have our little battle sometimes because I'm gonna jump in and get to it. Now, I didn't analyze it, but at some point it's time to just go and jump in and start kicking and swimming.
Yeah.
I'm being got to the other side. While we sit here,
Yeah.
But that come from. Now I ain't saying that every single time it's a success.
Right.
But you know what? That has gotten me because you sit there too long playing around this, that, and the other. Look, life is lifing.
Right.
So, man, let me go and jump in and stop looking at how big it is because that's just defeating your mind. Just go and start attacking.
Yeah.
Just start attacking.
Yeah.
Before you know it, you're going to look up and you halfway through it.
Yeah. How long did it take you? Like, what was the actual time frame from when you realized how much of your father's lessons, advice, insights, revelations were actually imperative to your success from when he passed? What was the time frame from when you had that insight?
I think I started maturing and just going through. I've always been, like a, revert back to my training type of person, and I go back to it like the work ethic, the focus factor.
Yeah.
But I was saying like I would say at least, so 2013 is when I started this company. But that was when I think it was a culmination of my life lessons, my training, and just my hunger at that point. I think that was when, because you can see in my business, you can see the result now is that, look, this last stretch has been different. It's been different. And it was the determination, it was the training that I fell back on. I always, when I get into a corner, I go back to my training. It's like, that's why I'm militant now.
Yeah. I love that.
Go back to your training. It's going to get you out of this situation.
Yeah. Okay, so speaking of your business, let's pivot a little bit and talk about it, because I think it's really cool what you do. It's very niche down, and it's very interesting because you get to come across so many different people. You have a vast list of clientele. And so I want to ask you, because you have a luxury transportation business, what is your definition of luxury?
So, that's a great question. I mean, my definition of luxury is, man, it's a yes, right? It's a complete service, right?
Okay.
It's prepared. It's like thinking ahead of the game. It's luxury is smooth. Okay, it's comfortable. It's top of the line. It's it's well groomed.
Yeah.
It's neat. It's when you've taken the time to think about everything that may be a comfort.
Yeah.
For that person. So like in my business, I just try to make sure that we think ahead and we, the driver, looks good, smells good. The vehicle smells good, it looks good, it rides good. We try to avoid bumps in the road.
Experience.
We want to give you a complete experience. Not just...
Who would have thought about that? Something so small that's like avoiding potholes. So y'all out here avoiding potholes.
Yeah.
And building your clientele.
I mean,
Wow.
You want to just give the total experience.
Right. I love that because, and I talked about it a little bit, but for your business, you said you started in 2013.
Yep, 2013.
Okay, so then when did Uber, Lyft, all the other things happen? But I feel like there was a big not a hole, but you can, speak to me about when those specific entities came into the industry, came into the space. How did that actually impact you? Because at this time, I'm just a regular person. I'm Neish, and all of a sudden now I can get an XL ride in a Range Rover, whatever. How did that actually impact your business and your model?
It didn't really impact my business.
Really?
I'm just so dope. It didn't really impact.
There you go. Period.
I mean, it didn't impact because you got to build your own tribe, and so when you build your tribe, people gonna stick with you.
Yeah.
They rock with, who they rock with. Again, I don't sell transportation, I sell experience. So the people that, that rock with me, they calling their guy, they not worried about, nothing else. You can have a million options, right? But, people go with who they like. They, it's like the oldest thing in sales. People buy from who they like.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's true. Why do people like you? Why do people like doing business with you?
I wear cool glasses.
They do. I was going to ask you, are those prescription or are those regular shades? What's happening?
Nah, these are prescription.
They're blue though.
Yeah,
are they blue?
Yeah. Yeah,
Those are fire.
They're blue and gray.
Oh, wow.
You know, let's be technical.
I got my specs on today too, but mine are not as cool as those.
They're a little blue and gray.
That's great. And so I love that because you've been able to work with a lot of high profile people, and getting a lot of like, you know, you have people from like your business execs to your athletes to your celebrities. Can you kind of explain that? Because I think that's really cool to like come into contact with some of these people. What are some of the things that they look for to kind of check the box as far as like the luxury experience or what you and your service provides?
You know, professionalism. You know, be professional, right? They look for that. You know, saying what you mean what you say in terms of, you know, being on time. You know, price don't switch up.
Yeah, with the client per client.
Yeah, you know, having, you know, smooth systems to operate. You know, knowing how to, you know, keep your mouth closed. You know, you can't be a fan, and you know, I teach the drivers, look, do the job that you're paid to do, right? You know, it's real simple. You're paid to do this, do that, focus on that. Don't be in there trying to get off your CD. You know, you got a fruit juice line, and you in the car, you know, trying to get your singing career off. It's been like, will you just drive the car for me, please?
Morris.
Like, you know.
This is a real thing? People be doing this?
Oh, man. Like, you know, when you get a celebrity or, you know, you get an A-list celebrity in the car, right? Okay, like Morris Day, you know. You know, Morris Day is probably one of my favorite celebrities that I've ever had.
Okay.
Because I grew up watching him on TV.
Okay.
And, you know, he a real character, real nutcase. I mean, you know, it was fun to be able to interact with him. But, you know, I start off when I have people, I don't jump into fan mode.
Okay.
I do the job. Now, if you keep on tapping on my shoulder and, you know, keep on trying to, you know, make me come out my shell, then that's different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You don't initiate that.
No. I'm serious business, you know. I'm coming here to, you know, I've already gotten paid to do my job. It's just like an artist, you know. Now it's my time to perform.
Right.
And my performance is making sure you get from A to B safely, be knowledgeable of the area, you know, avoid the bumps in the road, and, you know, give you a smooth, you know, professional experience.
Okay, so speaking of bumps in the road, let's talk about the actual bumps in the road when it comes to the business. What were some of the obstacles or the speed bumps or bumps in the road that you had to kind of overcome to kind of see this current version, this current level of success that we all see today?
Finding the customers.
Okay.
You know, seeking out, you know, the customers and, you know, building a catalog, so to speak.
Is your industry like a word of mouth kind of industry? Or is it mostly like what you're saying, you have to actually do a lot of outreach?
Well, you know, good news travels.
Okay.
You know, and so it is, you know, when you do a good job for people, they tell their friends.
Okay.
You know, in a corporate space, on the entertainment level, you know, people talk. So again, it goes back to the same thing I was saying. People gonna tell you, well, look, you know, you're gonna say, well, listen, if somebody in Memphis, well, call my guy.
Yeah.
No, don't worry about that. Call my guy. You're gonna pick up the phone and call me right then. Hold on, you know, such and such.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, word of mouth, you know, being solid, you know, having a good reputation.
Yeah.
Is everything.
I love that. So has there ever been like a call that you got or seen like a name or number come up on your phone where you actually did fan out? But you didn't show it, but you were like, I can't believe this person is about to hire me. Like, it's too late.
Okay.
Tell me a story.
So I did fan out one time when I had Kim K. Yeah, I was fanning out.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's give us the scoop. Give us the scoop.
Funny story. So there's a lady got out of jail. You know, when Kim was doing the advocating.
Yes.
When Trump was in office, and so one of the ladies that she got out of jail, she did like 30 years or something like that.
I know who you're talking about.
You remember?
Yes.
Yes. So
I know exactly. She mixed?
No, she's black
She's
lady.
black?
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about, though. I know that story.
She's a black lady. And so she flew down when she got out of jail to meet her in person.
Wow.
And so I got the call, to pick her up. And so, I was on the phone and I was like, what? Wait a minute. I was like, oh. I done got calls from Rock Nation before, and I was, like, I done made it.
Right. Rock Nation.
Rock
Like,
Nation,
what?
I done made it. Okay. But, man, I got the call for Kim, and the funny story is that, so, I hope I don't get in trouble about it, but, so her security was like, don't look her in the eyes.
Stop. What does that mean? Wait a second. Wait, time out.
Oh, man. It's like, don't look her in the eyes. So the whole time I'm driving, she in the rearview mirror looking at me in the rearview mirror. I'm just trying not to look back. I'm just trying not to, because I don't know if he like some type of robot or something, but he was like, don't look at her in the eyes.
Why though? What does that mean?
I mean, they don't, with certain celebrities, they don't want you to get personal with them at all. Like, don't even look at them. Don't even look them in the eyes. Like, seriously. Like, that was a serious conversation. He was like, he gave me, a spiel of, what they don't want you to do. And also don't look at her in the eyes. Don't directly look at her in the eyes. I was like, okay. Wow. So, yeah, it'd be like that.
What was that ride like?
I mean, it was a little stiff, but she was cool. Like, she was cool. And that's how it be with a lot of, the entourage be the people that give you the most trouble. Mm-hmm. The main artists, they be cool. They be trying to joke with you. And the entourage then, put the fear of death in you. Like, don't, got you over there nervous to breathe in the car.
Wow. That's really cool. Dang.
Right.
Too bad you couldn't look her in the eyes.
I know, man. She was, looking in the mirror and fun and just.
That's nerve-wracking though, because like at the same token, it's weird because it's mixed feelings. I had that situation once. I interviewed Tyrese for something, and I had one director in my ear telling me like, "Don't engage, just keep the interview questions." And I have another interview like, "Go in, Neish." So I'm like, "Dang, what do I do?" Because he's like going in, and it feels like so. It's like, how do you balance like doing with with what one person is saying to do, but then you're getting this other energy, and it's like, I feel like I can talk to this person.
Yeah.
So like, how do you balance that? Because at the same token, when you're in the car with these people and these high profile people, it is kind of an element of temptation to be like, you do have a small window of opportunity to kind of retain them. And so how do you balance that, the professionalism with that small window of opportunity?
Well, again, if you're in a band, your job is to, once everybody did their part, when it's time for you to hit your note, it's time for you to hit your note. So, I take that approach. It's like, my job is to drive and make sure this is a safe transport.
Yeah.
So no matter what, I just, focus on that. And what's for me is for me,
Yeah.
Opportunities have surprisingly just come back and come around to me regardless of any gatekeepers.
I love that. When you say what's for me is for me, I also kind of like, as we get ready to close, I want to ask you, because I'm finding your niche with Neish, and I love talking to people about their niche. But at the same token, when I think about what's for you is for you, you still said there's a lot of elements to you, and there's a lot of talents that you have and a lot of skills that you haven't really tapped into necessarily, or that people haven't been privy to see in its fullness. But when I think about your niche, and when I think about you being in this luxury transportation industry, can you talk to me about how you found that to be the thing, to be your niche and to be your lane, so to speak?
I mean, I just did it so well. Even now, I still know, I just do it well. I mean.
But how did you find, like, what was the second? Okay, so if you had a second vocation for Morris, how did you compare this from that? Like, I should definitely be doing this in comparison to that.
I mean, just along the way, I've looked at my competition. I've looked at, just other people doing it. And so, there's so many blessings that have come my way in the space that it's like it's a calling for me to excel in what I'm doing now. And so, other things, I mean, I'm very talented in a lot of different ways. I mean, and you know, you just got to kind of, you got to find something, find your niche, and that will take you places. That will be the vehicle that will take you. You know, it's just like a rapper starting off rapping and then he end up owning, you know, investing in this, that, and the other, and becoming more than a rapper. You know, I think that once you find your niche, that will be the vehicle that'll take you anywhere you want to go.
Yeah, no pun intended.
No pun intended.
I love that. And so if people are trying to find their niche, and maybe if their niche is particularly what you do, they want to tap in, they want to join the academy, can you talk to them about how they can be a part of what you're doing? And even just a little bit of encouragement for people who are still like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm at a crossroads right now. I actually have no idea where I need to go. What kind of words of encouragement would you give to those people?
One, first of all, be careful what you speak out your mouth, you know, about yourself and about your life. You know, speak life into your life. You know, and that's not just, you know, saying that. Like, there's a lot of power in the words that you say. It becomes what you think. It becomes who you are. So for one, you know, believe in yourself and speak life into your life. You know, and then two, you know, if you're looking for some coaching or some support from myself, training, you know, you're looking to be an entrepreneur, you can find me at theblackheart101.com. That's where you can find my online e-course. And then you can also reach out. I do consulting, business consulting. And, I'm here to share my experience and be able to help spread this opportunity to my community to see things change.
I love that. Well, I am so excited about your career, and I'm so excited about you coming on today. Like I said at the top of the interview, your story has been specifically very inspiring. As I'm like doing my research and learning a little bit more about you and looking at your Instagram and your website, I would honestly describe you as somebody who's truly inspirational to me. And so I just want to thank you again for coming on the show and giving
Thank you so
game,
much.
dropping gems, giving us some sneak peeks and exclusive stories into your life, into your career. And I know God has his hand on you. I know
Yes.
your father's watching down on you and would say that he is proud of you and what
Oh,
you've been
man.
able to accomplish.
Don't make me
And
cry on camera, man.
I told you I'm
Oh,
over
man.
it. No,
Oh,
it's all
man.
good, man. It's all good. And I'm so excited. And that's actually, I will say this. When I was looking at your stuff, even like almost right before you came in, the moment that came to me was like, I don't even really know this man, but for whatever reason, I'm very proud of you.
Well, thank you. That means so much to me
Yeah,
personally.
I just kept thinking like, oh my God, why am I so proud of him? Like, I'm just meeting him, but like for whatever reason, something was like bubbling up inside of me, and I'm like, wow, I don't know the capacity or the fullness of what you've been through, but like I am very proud of you.
Oh my God, that's huge. That's huge. I mean, you're talking to a guy that never walked across the stage in high school, college. Met adversity and challenges, and that's why I'm passionate. It's just because I mean, everybody got a story.
Yeah.
But all right, let's move past that. Now let's create a story. What I'm saying? Now it's time to, shape a story, build. Life ain't just happening no more. Now it's about what we're gonna make happen. So I really appreciate that. That's a huge, huge compliment, and I appreciate it so much.
Yeah. And we're going to leave that right where it is. Y'all stay tapped in. Follow him. If they want to follow you, what's your IG handle?
My IG is at True Concierge. You can follow us. You can find us at trueconcierge.com and blackheart101.com. Let's get busy, y'all.
There it is. Peace.